What's up, visionaries? Today, I want to talk to you about something that I constantly talk about in my 3C method, which is you got to have clarity, confidence, and conviction. See, clarity is how you see the board. We are speculating in these cryptocurrency assets, and this is what I want all of you guys to understand is that Warren Buffett says invest in things that you can understand. So what you have to seek first is to understand what it is you're invested in. Why? Because the better you understand, the easier it is to compound money. Many people don't see profit in cryptocurrency because they are investing with one-off lottery scratch-off ticket strategies, meaning that you're only going to take I got $5,000 to invest, and then you're hoping that that $5,000 scale to a number that you don't even have a target for. Now, I know when you doom scroll on social media, you get all of these influencers or whatnot that they try to engage you to interact, right? And prompt. Social media is a place where emotions fly. But what I want you to understand is that once you have the clarity, it will give you the confidence to invest more money. Now, once you have the confidence to invest more money, then you have to be convicted. You have to go all in. And how do you get that? See, first you have to understand that cryptocurrency moves off of narratives. What is that? If you know anything about investing, this is when people say buy the rumor, sell the news, right? Now, this is just one of those one-off statements. One of the things that I do not like is I don't like phrasing. That just doesn't resonate with me. And I know a lot of people like that kind of stuff. I'm a logical person who likes straightforward answers, right? I don't like theater. I don't need names for stuff. I just want, does this do what you say it does? Does anyone care? And that's how I build my portfolio. That's how I build your portfolio if you decide to work with me. Now, when you come up and realize that crypto moves off of narratives, the thing that you need to understand next is what narratives are trending in cryptocurrency. Because in marketing, everything needs attention. Attention is one of the most important things that works for everything. Even if you're looking for a girlfriend, you need to have attention. You're looking for a wife, you need some attention because that person needs to see you in order to be with you. If you're looking for a job, when you put in your resume, you are trying to seek attention. See, it's one of these things that the human ego, we get very particular about whether or not people don't want attention. Everybody wants attention. It doesn't matter. It just matters who you want the attention from is the most important thing. So everything has a narrative. The trending narrative in cryptocurrency right now, if you turn on the news, don't just listen to me, look at the context of what they are saying. I've been telling you guys that institutional investors are coming. Institutions are here. That's why you hear about market manipulation. See, we've been waiting for the big money to come. Big bank will always take little bank. And if you move and operate with knowing that, it gives you a strength. You don't have to be afraid just because you're playing the best in the game, someone with more money than you. You just have to stick to your strategy. And many of you don't have a strategy. It's just open up your phone. What did somebody say that this is going to 5 and 10x? And then you ape into the project and then you scream win Lambo. Phrasing again. So now what I want you to understand is that once you understand that it moves off narratives, see, in marketing, anybody can attach a narrative to something, but it needs to have merit as well. The most important thing that I want you guys to understand is the merit part. It's because when we were in grade school, one of the things that we needed to understand was citing sources when we wrote a paper. Use this same theory when you are researching something that you're going to put your hard-earned money in. Even if you decide to work with me, you should be asking me specific questions, not just taking my word for it. and then seek to understand, because I'm not teaching you nothing if you don't feel like you understand completely what I'm trying to tell you. Now, once you realize that I usually look for like 3 sources, because anybody can make a 30-second, because now what is it on social media, they say that in order to get your attention you got to have a hook and get them in the first 5 minutes. That's why you typically hear people say Trump's going to make millionaires overnight, or I made $1 million doing this. That's a hook to get you to listen. That is human psychology. I want you to not be the person that's negative. Oh, that's just all these influencers and course creators and all this other kind of stuff. What I really want you to understand, though, that human psychology works for everything. It's the same reason why you went to college to get a degree that may or may not give you the job that you want. It's the same reason why someone wears a white dress. See, the psychology and the things that we are told is how we always behave. So once you understand that psychology of a narrative, if I do this, then this happens, it's easy to make a scam. I work with tons of clients who get scammed in these pig butchering scams, which I no longer work with anymore. But the reason is because they use that psychology of you wanting to get rich as an opportunity for them to make money. See, what I try to create content for is to get you to think about the reality of the world that you live in, how we're becoming more digital, not less, right? And then once you realize that we're becoming more natively digital, you see AI is growing, then you'll understand that that narrative is true. You have merit on that. You open up your phone, you open up the social media apps, they're already putting AI into it. See, I read books. If behind me I have The Fourth Industrial Revolution by Klaus Schwab, and that's the thing, the roadmap that I driven everything that I know about this stuff on. I believe that guy when he said it. The World Economic Forum and what they call the Great Reset, I believe in that. I'm not saying I'm for it or against it. I believe that many of us are not decision makers, and that is the thing that we need to understand the most. It's not an insult. It's that if these people decide that this is a thing that works for us, then that's what we're going to do. Hence, what this video is about. This video is going to be where Tom Zschach, I probably messed up his name. He is the CIO of the SWIFT, of SWIFT. And as what I was talking about in 2019 and 2020 when I first started making content was that this was going to overthrow the traditional financial system, that you were going to use this. People used to throw me so much hate and shade for saying where we're at today. See, you have to stay the course. That's why I'm trying to help you guys. I'm not here to argue with people in the comment section. I've been telling you guys that this was coming for at least 5 years. And now we're here. And this is why it leads into the merit base that I am talking about. Because now that we're here, who cares? See, we're no longer in the speculation phase. We're in the adoption phase. There's no more, this is going to happen one day. The people that I'm going to show you in this video, they are here today to talk about adopting this technology. And when it comes to merit, smart money likes insurance on their money. They need guardrails, rules, and regulation, which is why I always talk about the pen to paper moment. You need to understand that this is the biggest wealth transfer of all time, because you are in a moment where they are taking the traditional finance system and moving it into this new system that allows you to have equity in the infrastructure. That is why this is the greatest wealth transfer. It isn't a get rich quick overnight. See, inflation is already eating away at your dollars. What you need to understand is now is the time to act. So now, what I mean by merit is when I'm going to go in this video, and I already know that this is a controversial statement that I'm going to make, and It's going to bring out everybody who thinks that I don't know what I'm talking about, even though I've been saying the same thing every day. They think that I'm not making any money. You're not going to make any money if you don't invest in this one project. And it is something that I've been saying from the beginning since day one. And I'm going to get ready to share my screen, and I'm going to tell you this here, and I'm going to play this video for you. All right? So now, hold on. Because I forgot to play the audio. And go to window. All right. So, as I was saying, this is very controversial, and I already know the army is coming for me when I say this, right? And there's other people who are also very smart, but it's just something that I believe in, and you got to have your own beliefs. You got to stand for something, or you will fall for anything, right? And so, what I was saying at the beginning of the video is that I've done the research. And what I've learned, when I started learning about Bitcoin first, I learned about money. And then I realized how little I knew about the central bank. And I started studying the Federal Reserve and trying to understand why money. That's why I talk about the creature from Jekyll Island. And then Rothbard's, what he talks about, what the government has done to money. See, these things is me trying to understand money. I sought more information. I looked at more than one source. Even when I have tons of books on financial freedom. And that's when I realized that most people say buy index funds and invest in the S&P 500. You'll be financially free. See, I'm not saying you can do that. I just wanted something that worked for me personally. And so what I did was create a system and a strategy that operated like the S&P 500 for me personally. And I built that portfolio. That's what my 3C method is. It's a combination of the barbell strategy and then my own take on the cryptocurrency markets. And now, so where I was going is that XRP, when I first got in the game in 2018, was always talking about cross-border payments and how they would not, and how the banks were going to use it. Coined themselves the banker coin. See, I remember that in 2018. Now, I'm not saying that they did not have a court case and they did not do and it wasn't being price suppression through being delisted on centralized exchanges. What I am trying to tell you, though, is that also when the stable coins had started emerging, I was like, couldn't stable coins do the same thing that XRP is telling you that they were going to do? And of course, they briefly talked about the ledger. But they were saying that they already had partnerships with the banks and that Bank of America was already secretly using it. Merit-based, this is what I'm talking about. See, a lot of people don't ask questions because many of you are just focusing on the zeros of the investment game, which is important. But the tech is actually where the money is at. Understanding the tech is where the money's at, because if you have, let's say, $20,000 of discretionary income in a year, or even $10,000, $5,000, and you know that every month you're going to have $5,000 you can invest every year, right? Where you put that money at is important for compounding. And what I was trying to tell you is that not only did they pass the Genius Acts regulating stablecoins to where when I first started talking about those stablecoins, Ripple did not have RULSD. It was when it started gaining traction. And what Ripple does all the time is they move the goalposts and attach a new narrative to their project on the Ripple that can do everything. The reason why this is important is because this video that I'm about to show you of Tom Zschach of the SWIFT, he is the person who is, they use no names in this. I'm just saying that this is right on brand with what I was saying about XRP from the beginning, right? So I'm gonna let you hear this real quick, and then I'm gonna follow through on it some more. Listen to how he starts this.
Nice to be here. I titled my talk today, which I'm going to try to fit into about 15 or 20 minutes. I titled it Proof Over Promises. And I did that deliberately because I think we spent the last decade making promises and claims, sometimes outrageous claims, faster settlement, tokenized assets, everything's going to be decentralized. A lot of that's becoming true. We see that in motion.
So as you can see right there, right? As you can see, he says he wants to talk about proof over promises. This is exactly what I'm telling you about XRP. They're promising you all this stuff, but what can you prove? See, at this point, we're no longer speculating. You can't, like, talking about what's going to happen in the future when somebody wants to use it, when this is the messaging system that was the premise of how many transactions you were going to prove that you were going to move, right? People have to use the ledger. It doesn't matter what you tell someone the ledger does. And then you can have a few small banks, and then I'm telling you, it doesn't matter if you have a little bit of partnerships. What I've been telling people that XRP needs the most is they need some of the big four banks to do that. And then I'm making a video again later about how all of the big four banks, because I said, why wouldn't the banks just make their own token and then use a better ledger and system, which is Ethereum? XRP is built on it. Chainlink is built on it. See, what people don't understand is that's why I was telling you, if you stop looking at the price, like, you got to look at the guardrails that are being built, and you're getting equity in this stuff. Buy good. You don't have to buy at all-time high, thinking that it's going to go somewhere egregiously. If you know the market is volatile, it is a strength. Now, I want to go further on into this, right? Because I want to be sure that I keep this under 30 minutes, because I try to keep all my videos under 30 minutes or an hour. But let's go here, right? So I was at the 140 mark. I want you guys to listen to this. I'm not just throwing shade at XRP. I'm trying to show you guys where my mindset is. I'm not someone who likes to hate. If anything good happens with Ripple that I believe is somewhere, I just have an issue with how abrasive those XRP army is on the internet. When you're just like, we're putting thoughts out there and we're challenging thoughts. Just because you're indoctrinated doesn't mean that I'm not allowed to have objective criticism. It's the same thing you may have with the things that I'm talking about, right? But as I'm saying, somebody can argue with me about all the things that it does, but no, the big money doesn't care, and that's what I'm saying. That's what you have to realize. Now listen to this.
White paper or an outrageous claim from traditional finance. I'm not sure how we came up with that term, other than we needed a kind of a cool term for crypto Twitter. But it's all about trust. Everything we do in finance is about trust. So proof of promises means innovation in finance has to move to prove the value in production, not just promise it in theory or on a white paper or an outrageous claim on X or Reddit. It's really a call for accountability, for maturity.
Not an outrageous claim on X and Twitter and what you can prove. They don't have to use names. Just tell me if that sounds familiar. Does XRP actually make outrageous claims all the time? You know, no one but the Wall Street buffs with these little strategic things they have, no one really speculates like Ethereum's going to be like $10,000 or $20,000. That rhetoric just started recently right now. See, people actually use Ethereum, and that's why I was trying to tell you guys that you have to start paying attention to what is being used, because it's just like an app on the App Store. We can have the best app that there is, but what you need to start understanding is that if nobody's using our app, no one cares. That's the whole point that I'm trying to tell you. And then if the people who have the bag that we are chasing, right, we are in a position that all we have to do is park our boat, right, and then let the wave come in and lift all the boats. I'm not saying that XRP can't reach $6, $8, $10. That's money too. But what I'm saying is sitting here acting like $10,000. That's crazy to me. And that's the point that I'm trying to get you guys to realize and understand is that this guy, like, I want to show you this here, right? Tom Zschach. This isn't just anybody, right? See, I went to go research who this guy was. He's the chief innovation officer at SWIFT. See, and he has some posts here that I want you to see because this is also something that he talks about in here, right? See, this one right here. They've proven that tokenized deposits can move across public and permission chains. Now, I've been somebody who's been telling you that the banks were going to do their own thing. See, here's the thing. When I first got into crypto, it was like decentralization versus centralization, right? And then that's where like DeFi versus centralized finance, and no one's going to use this. The banks will never use this. They'll use the technology. Jamie Dimon himself even said that he likes blockchain technology. I'll show you that video. This is what I'm trying to tell you, is that you're in the right place at the right time. You just have the wrong information. How do you get that information? That's what I'm trying to show you. Where do you get it from, right? See how tokenized deposits could transform bank liquidity economics, right? Every dollar trapped in pre-funding is a dollar that could be lending, investing, or earning a yield. Across the global banking system, trillions sit idle in Nostro and Vostro accounts. Just to keep payments flowing, Key Rock estimates over 27 trillion in immobilized this way. What FinExtra costs? A vast pool of dead capital. At current rates, that's roughly 1.3 trillion in annual loss returns. Tokenized deposits don't reinvent money. Oh, I had to go more there, right? They don't reinvent money. Where is it? All right. They don't reinvent money. They make it move efficiently. They are digital representations of existing commercial bank deposits recorded on a share. Now, so this is one of the things that I want you to realize is that it's how things are one-to-one, right? It's how they peg those stable coins. It's why the Genius Act was unanimously accepted by both parties. Easy bill to go through. The Clarity Act is the moment that we're waiting for, right? So now, not only on top of that, I want to show you how nobody is looking like they're really, no one with the real money, moving the real money. That's what he says here, right? So now, where is it? 320? Go back a little bit, go to 315.
As we go forward. And I'm not standing here today saying I have all the answers, I know how it's going to work, but let me give you some examples here. Proof of moving real value on public blockchains. It's not about demos, it's not about tokens, it's not about what I refer to as kind of onesies and twosies. Those are important, they need to be proven. But really what we're talking about, can you move real money, and the value of that money on public blockchains? It looks like there's a path to that, we're not there yet. But we need the same certainty, the same auditability, the same compliance in place to be able to do that. That's how today's financial systems work. And I can tell you in all the conversations I have in every place in the world, nobody's talking about changing how the financial system works. The question is, how do you use these new innovations? Some came through DeFi, some have come through other channels. How do you use those today to benefit and make things better for consumers, for businesses, and the
This is what I'm trying to tell you, and this is my thought process on why wouldn't the banks create their own thing. As I was telling you earlier, right, is that if the banks have what Ripple wants, what the banks have is the most valuable asset in the world. They have the data and the users, right? All they need is the back-end software and technology. They have the capital to develop their own thing that, what has Ripple proven? Have they been moving real money like the bank is talking about? You know who has? Ethereum. Even Solana moves real money. This is what I'm trying to tell you, is that it's not just me. And I don't get like how, I don't care how clever people tell you and then they make it sound. I think this is pretty straightforward and black and white. I think that I'm in the right place at the right time and I'm seeking to understand, right? And not know. I just want to understand. I don't talk like a know-it-all. I'm just pointing out the fact that you got to hear this guy say, can you move real money? What can you prove? And then I'm trying to tell you is, why isn't Brad Garlinghouse in these platforms? Why isn't anyone from Ripple on these huge platforms having these guys talking? Because see, they already tested Swift. Swift already ran the test with XRP and HBAR. And I love HBAR. But there's something new that's coming out that they just launched that I'm super bullish on, and I'm about to show you here next. But I want to show you also about the whole payments and everything else that they're talking about. See, and for those of you who made it this far, as you can see, just look, read the room. Chainlink right there. Buy Chainlink. Chainlink's the oracle that they're all going to use. Then you have to also look at what's the infrastructure that Chainlink is built on? Ethereum. See, Chainlink started that CCIP because cross-chain interoperability is important. And he actually talks about this here. All right, so now I want to go, what is it, 640.
And people who are stepping into this space announce deals, primarily around stablecoins. So if you don't see the progress you're not looking for it, or you're trying to hide examples here. And we're seeing these proofs emerge across the ecosystem in every corner. I think in the last month, we've seen every major money provider, card network, and people who are stepping into this space announce deals, primarily around stablecoins. So if you don't see the progress you're not looking for it, or you're trying to hide.
And that part is for you naysayers out there. That is Tom Zschach, right? I'll go back to his profile. That's Tom Zschach, the Chief Innovation Officer at SWIFT, saying that if you don't see the progress, this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. If you're still not invested in cryptocurrency, right? And then this is what the service I provide is, instead of you trying to guess, open up and putting most of your money in Dogecoin and sitting there and waiting, set yourself up to be positioned in a way that you can actually win. What I'm trying to tell you is this guy just sat up there and said that if you can't see the progress, and this is the bank where you send your money. When you send a Zelle, you're using the Swift messaging system. This isn't me. You're not listening. I'm not influencing you. I'm just a guy in his house who's telling you how he made money in these digital assets known as cryptocurrency. And then I'm not just blindly giving you these egregious price speculation things. I'm showing you proof of what I'm saying. And here it is again.
We've seen every major money provider, card network, and people who are stepping into this space announce deals, primarily around stablecoins. So if you don't see the progress you're not looking for it, or you're trying to hide, because it's everywhere.
If you don't see the progress, you're trying to hide because it's everywhere. And when I say that you're not a decision maker, that isn't an insult to your ego. I'm trying to tell you that you don't control how you get your money to this day. When you go to the bank, there's a specific amount that you're allowed to have access to. If you open up a new bank account and you put your check in it, they will issue a hold on it and you don't have your money because you don't have the power. This is reality, not an insult. If you're trying to win in this game, see, I'm not that person who sits around talking about politics, giving you your mindset, talking about Israel, Palestine, and all this other kind of stuff. What I'm trying to tell you right now is if you know what you know, move like it. It's just that simple. And I don't care if you think some type of way about me. I'm just telling you, I'm trying to play the game to win, and at least win to live in the way that I want to live. And you have that opportunity. It's time to get with it. And now I want you to listen to the rest of this.
Let me start with one, and I'll call this proof in progress, right? Because it just got announced. But Stripe and Paradigm are going to build Tempo. It's going to be a layer 1 blockchain. It's going to focus primarily on to become a payments first blockchain that's optimized for stable coins and microtransactions. It's not a promise. It's a.
Once again, the banks are going to make their own blockchains. They said Stripe, a payment system, and Paradigm are going to make their own layer 1 blockchain. Now, if I said the banks were going to make their own, what else do you want from me, right? I'm trying to tell you. I'm not trying to be right. I'm trying to tell you that if you're in profit, because no one ever goes broke. This is not financial advice, by the way. Maybe reallocate some funds to actually have a plan B. One of my closest dogs got 2 girls and they, wait, what is it? I forgot the lyrics, man. So what is it? One of my closest dogs got 3 kids and they all 3. But we always been that kind of crew who's been good without a plan B. Shout out Drizzy. But anyhow, you could be that person, right? But look at this Paradigm, right? I told you, I go look. Paradigm, Tempo, the blockchain designed for payments. We just announced Tempo, a payment first blockchain. See, like this isn't some random. This is the other thing too. When I do research, I don't just go with AI now. Anybody can go and ask Grok, Gemini, Cloud, Chat GPT. You can ask any of these things to write you an article. They will do it, right? I like, even if they're using AI to write this, right? I like to see the businesses that I'm investing my money in, or the projects or the software that I'm investing my money in. I like to see them writing it, right? See, you see, like this is written by Matt Huang, right? Watch, I'll show you what I'll do. Let's go. Matt Huang on LinkedIn, right? So you see this guy? Founder and CEO at Ford Media, right? And see, I'm not even sure if this is the same guy, right? And then that name, see us. So let's see, that name, see, I don't see any affiliation. So this might not be the right profile. This is something that you need to look at. This is actually good education here. Let's go down to the bottom. So here, go directly to his LinkedIn. See right there, Matt Huang, LinkedIn, right? Co-founder and manager partner at blah, 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 blah. Oh, he was KM Huang. Let me go back to this because I'm going to. All right. So see, Matt Huang, co-founder and managing partner at Paradigm, right? So he's the guy who wrote this article, right? This isn't some AI thing. He may use AI to write people. Some people are weird like that. They always have to, I see the M dashes. You're using Chat GPT. Still, you still have to give it ideas, right? So now, we just announced Tempo, a payment first blockchain incubated by Stripe and Paradigm. As stablecoins go mainstream, there's a growing need for optimized infrastructure. Much of today's crypto stack, either explicitly or implicitly, caters to trading, a highly valuable use case in its own right, but is comparatively under-optimized for payments. Tempo is purpose-built for stablecoins and real-world payments, born from Stripe's experience in global payments and Paradigm's expertise in crypto tech. We are building the chain with design inputs from global leaders in AI, e-commerce, financial services, Anthropic, Quapang, Deutsche Bank, DoorDash, Lead Bank, Mercury, Nubank, OpenAI, Revolut, Shopify, Standard Charter, Visa, and more. We are excited to further crypto's ability to tackle real-world use case, including global payments and payroll remittances and tokenized deposits for 24/7 settlement. And this is what I'm trying to tell you is, see, they're creating their own layer one. This isn't even bullish for Ethereum unless they build it on Ethereum, but it's a layer one. You see what I'm saying here? And this is what I'm trying to tell you. Listen, read the room. You see how I already went to Matt Huang's LinkedIn, right? Verified that he's the co-founder, managing partner at Paradigm. This little shield is verified where LinkedIn verifies you, right? He went to MIT, right? See, there's Tempo. Excited to have this great group. Tempo lead, you see this? This is absolutely incredible here, right? So now, what do you see? Oh, sorry. Going all over the place. So now, this is what I want you guys to see. Tom Zschach. Man, I got to figure out how to say that. So we go back here, blockchain payments, right? So now I want to show you something here. So now if you go to this same post, right? So we'll go to these posts. We'll click on his profile. I'm already on it. Show all posts. Look at this. See, Chainlink Labs, right? See, Chainlink partner with SWIFT, DTCC. That's the Department of Trade Commissions and Commodities. I probably messed that all up. But see, UPS. See, these are really big names that you should be able to recognize. That's the other thing. It's not some partnership in Vietnam, right? But this is what I want to show you. Deposit tokens in action, right? That's not what I want to show you, though. Hold on. Bear with me here. See, look at this. I think, see, why volatile tokens can't do the job of money, no matter how fast they move. See, this isn't just me throwing shade at XRP, right? Like, look at this. Like, they're not going to deal, like, I tell you what's not a secret. They're saying the quiet part out loud. Most of you guys are sitting here arguing with people because you're trying to believe the lie, no matter if someone's trying to show you the truth. See, I had XRP. I believed it. I believed the hype. I don't anymore. See, people often confuse speed with suitability. But in finance, what matters isn't how fast something moves, it's whether it settles money that regulators recognize and banks can redeem. If the so-called bridge currency has no legal claim to the underlying fiat or no settlement finality in central bank money, it's not solving the liquidity gap. It's just creating a new one, this time in token form. And now, I want to add to this, right? He goes using a bridge token again. This isn't me. Wake up, people. Wake up. To move money between countries sound cool, but it doesn't fix the real problem. That token isn't real money you can cash out at a bank. It's just another digital chip that someone has to agree to buy or sell. Jeez. So now, see how it says tokenized deposits versus deposit tokens are not the same thing, right? This is the one. This is the one that I've been telling you about here. See, tokenized deposits versus deposit tokens are not the same thing. Banks will issue both, but here's the key difference. A tokenized deposit is a traditional bank deposit represented on the blockchain. It's still a claim on the bank, just made programmable and faster to move. This is very powerful. A deposit token goes a step further, where it is a standardized, interoperable form of a tokenized deposit that can move safely across banks and networks. Think of it like this. Tokenized deposit is each bank's private system. Deposit tokens equals a common standard everyone can use and how they will settle, not through a new currency or an altcoin, bridge currency. Each token remain a claim on a commercial bank money, with SWIFT coordinating interoperability and settlement completed in the central bank money either through existing systems like Fedwire and RTGS, or through new models such as Finality and the Project Agora, which enable digital settlements directly in the central bank money, including the wholesale CBDC like the digital euro. This is where it gets good. In the future, some networks may also include optional public anchoring on Ethereum or Linea, but not for value transfer, but as an immutable audit proofs that verify transactions without exposing private data. Those are what we call zero knowledge proofs, right? Zero knowledge proof is just how can you verify something without giving away the private details. One of the bullish privacy coins that you see going right now, that is the backbone of privacy coins. Zcash uses zero knowledge proofs. They call it ZKP, right? So now, what I want you to understand, this right here, Linea, is a project that I'm super bullish on. I'm going to move on to here. I want you to see this price. Now, the reason being is because this is going to act as a layer 2 to Ethereum. So all of the stereotypical things that many people are going to be in the comments section on either the clip or even the video that I post outside of this in the community or on YouTube, wherever it's at, right? That people don't understand that the technology has layers to it. Layer 1, layer 2, and they provide solutions, layer 2 solutions to problems that are issues with layer 1s, because as the guy said at the beginning of the video, what can you prove? Ethereum is one of the most proven layer 1s there is, if not the most, the number one. There's a reason why it's number 2. Bitcoin's number 1, Ethereum's number 2. And I speculate that Ethereum could flip Bitcoin. Not because it's more valuable, the use case will provide more liquidity than people are thinking about, especially if you think that XRP was going to give you $10,000, but Ethereum has this kind of paper trail. You guys, come on, man, wake up. So now, as you can see, Linea today is at 1 cent, down 58% all time in a week. You're early on this. I gave you enough. See, look at that. What's that, 24 hours? What did it do? What did it do in 24 hours? You see that? A little pump, right? And then it comes down. But this is what I want you to see. Linea is at 1 cent right now. The market cap in the 3C method, right? 200 million. This we call high risky. I think this could easily get to, let's look at XRP real quick. Let me look at XRP. And I'm only doing this for the gram, the internet. The internet loves stuff like this, right? So look at XRP's market cap. 144 billion. When I do, see, I'll go down here. Where is it? Let's just say H bar. Let's just say that Linea gets to H bar's market cap. 7 billion. If SWIFT is using it, let's just say 7 billion from now, right? So get to 1 billion is 5. What's 7 times 5? Do the math. You need 35x on your money from today. Start there. See, building layer 2 where Ethereum believes. See, Linea is made by ConsenSys. Doing my research. I had this one up for you already. Look, Tom Zschach, mutual connection. Joseph Lubin, founder at ConsenSys. This is what I'm trying to get you guys to pay attention to. Right now, as you can see, Linea is at 1 cent. This can easily 35x. That's modest to me. But I think, like, and I don't know when, but I'm just telling you that everything shows that this is where it's at. It's so early, they don't even have a LinkedIn. But it's on ConsenSys. Watch, you go to Joseph Lubin's page. Show all the posts. All right, so now, let's see. Just give me a second, guys. So now look at this. ConsenSys acquires JPMorgan's blockchain platform Quorum. The reason why this is important is because, one, I've been telling you guys that JPMorgan Chase is someone to watch out for. They're one of the big four banks, right? And if, see, look, I even got this. Let me show you this. I'm going to do both of these right now. So now, right here, oh, what are you going to do? My monthly limit. All right. Let's go. There's a way to get around those. I'll do a video about that, but I'm not going to do it while I'm recording. All right. See, JPMorgan officially, let's see, reject cookies. Get out of here. All right. So as you can see, JPMorgan officially rolls out JPM coin deposit token on Base. JPMorgan announced Wednesday that it has completed the proof of concept for its oh, Jesus Christ. All right. So JPMorgan announced Wednesday that it has completed the proof of concept for its JPM coin deposit token, which is now available to institution clients on Base. Now, remember what I was telling you, right? Look at the key words. What is he talking about here? Tokenized deposits versus deposit tokens. Tom Zschach. Who's Tom Zschach? Right? Or Shaq. Let's say Shaq. I'm going to just say Shaq. Who's Tom Zschach? The Chief Innovation Officer at SWIFT. See? I wish I had the training day. See, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove, Jake. What can you prove, Jake? See, JPMorgan has officially rolled out this USD denominated deposit token JPM coin to institution on the Base layer 2. Once again, guys, the layer 2s. See, I like Linea. I love the Base token. That's why I like Aerodrome Finance as a liquidity provider for these networks, right? See, you have Linea. I'm telling you right now, Linea's at 1 cent. But what I was trying to tell you is JPMorgan and the banks were going to create their own token. They don't need XRP or Ripple. Ripple needs them. See, Ripple has the technology, but you've seen the guy throwing shade. Anyhow, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. And what I want you guys to do is, if you like this, leave a comment, and share this video with somebody. That's why I put it on YouTube, guys. And if you're somebody who wants to get started investing and building a crypto portfolio and doing it the right way and cutting out all the guesswork, utilizing my research to set your portfolio up so you don't have to lose money chasing dead projects that aren't going to make anything because you don't really know anything. You can build a smart portfolio where I'm not going to promise you hype. I'm just going to promise you capital preservation focused on capital appreciation. Well, guys, visionaries, it's been great, and you guys have a good day.